so full already. My face is just
I know. Look at you. Hello, friends.
Hi.
Welcome back.
We matched. Did we match last week too? We're not doing this on purpose.
I don't think so. Yeah, we came from our separate studios. Our makeup people.
Hi, I'm Nicole Hockley from Sandy Hook Promise.
What are you doing?
I know this is hard to hear, but
it is hard.
It's hard to hear, Sandy. Please stop. What happened right there?
I do not know. I couldn't hear us, but I heard whoever that was.
Yeah. So.
Anyway, hi.
It's good to be home. Good to be back with my lovely wife.
Welcome back.
And my baby Beckett.
Oh, those glasses are getting caught in my hair.
And baby Paulette.
No, we don't know if it's a boy or girl.
When are we finding out? This week? Next week? No?
20-something.
Oh.
20-something of January.
Hey, guys. Welcome back. So glad to have you. One of our moderators says that if you post the same question over and over and over a cajillion times, you might get put in timeout. So don't do that. We're going to...
That's called spamming.
Neisha's not feeling great tonight. We're going to answer quite a few questions, but we're just going to kind of hang out and chill. And I just got home a few hours ago from Low-Carb Boca Raton. Pretty uneventful flight, but it was jam-packed. We were like human sardines in canola oil. It was pretty rough.
I'm so glad I didn't have to participate in that.
Yeah.
It was a one-way flight. I booked 2 good flights.
Good flights, yeah, no doubt. Uneventful, but just packed to the gills. So what's going on, everybody? How's it going? Where are you watching from in the world right now? I see Mattia from London. What city, what state, what country? Where are you at?
London.
Coconut Creek?
Coconut Creek.
That's where Becky's at in Boca Raton. Have you heard of that?
No.
Coconut Creek.
That's
I mean, that could actually be literal.
It could be a coconut creek. Beckett Berry cannot get into his head the difference between a hickory nut and a coconut. He wants to call a hickory nut a coconut, and I have no idea why.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that like he just will not say
every time. And then mom corrects him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, hickey nut.
Hickey nut.
Yeah. So funny."
Frank wants to know, what is a good probiotic to take?
Frank, if you really need a probiotic, I would go to a health food store and buy one of the probiotics out of the refrigerated section that has at least 12 billion CFUs and at least 10 different strains of bacteria. Because what you don't want to take is, what's the one from Walmart? Align. That's lactobacillus. Anything that's a dry, chalky tablet, that's going to be lactobacillus, and 99.9% of it's going to be inactive, and it's probably not going to help you a damn bit and be a waste of money. So if you're gonna take a probiotic, get a good one. And for the vast majority of you guys, I don't think any of you guys need a probiotic on a daily basis. There might be specific situations where you would benefit from a probiotic, but the research thus far is very anemic when it comes to the benefits of probiotics.
That was for you, Mary Lou.
Hey, Mary Lou.
I do look tired. That is correct. I am tired. I could have been in bed and asleep right now if I was allowed. Hey, Holly.
Hey, Holly.
Big hugs. Erin's struggling too. Me and Erin.
I know, right?
She was pregnant first time around about the same time as me, and her baby's name is Beckett, and now we're pregnant together again.
I love it.
She's having a girl. She already got it. All right. Oh, so I just had a good one, and it jumped.
Was it that one?
No, but go ahead with that one.
Okay. Chris says, I am 33 years old and have a calcium score of 7.75. Any advice? What diet should I eat? Chris, you should eat a proper human diet. You should mimic the diet that human beings have eaten for the last 2 million years, which is 70% fatty meat, eggs, a little bit of veg, a few nuts, a few berries. If any of the plant foods that I just mentioned seem to cause inflammation or bother you in some way, bother your gut, your skin, your brain, your joints, then just stick to the meat and eggs. That is a proper human diet. And when you start eating a proper human diet, at the Low-Carb Boca Raton, I actually got to meet Dr. Arthur Agustin, who invented the coronary artery calcium score. Like when you say, what's your CAC score? That guy. I met that guy. And he's a gentleman and obviously a scholar. He also wrote the South Beach Diet way back in the day. And he's got an updated keto version of the South Beach Diet.
Well, the South Beach promotes keto.
Oh, yeah. The first phase of it is basically was keto, low carb, and then you would have to start adding back in foolishness. But he's like me. He continues to learn. He continues to research. He continues to grow and develop.
He's a true scientist.
True scientist, true doctor, true gentleman. And he said that when you start eating, and literally Dr. Arthur Agustin said, when you stop eating junk and start eating a proper human diet, he literally said that out of his mouth.
That would give you chills when people
It did. It totally did. He said, what's going to happen is you're going to stop forming new plaques. He said the old plaques that you already have existing, they're pretty much just going to sit there, and you don't ever have a heart attack because of those old plaques rupturing. It's the new plaques that you continue to form. And so that was his exact words, the doctor who invented the coronary artery calcium score test. So that's what I would recommend you do. It's what the guy who invented the test recommends, which is to eat a proper human diet.
Brooklyn Marie wants to know, are eggs good for me to eat if I have rheumatoid arthritis?
Oh my God, yes, 100%. What you really want to avoid is any processed grains, any just highly processed carbohydrates, any sugars, and any vegetable seed oils like canola oil, soybean oil, sunflower, safflower. Those are the things that are probably going to inflame your joints and cause you to have lots of pain.
Giyu, thank you. Giyu? I'm sorry.
Thanks for the super chat.
Yeah.
Yes, I am. I talked to Dr. Agustin if he would do a live with me on this channel, and he said he 100% would. And so we're in the process of setting that up. So in the next few weeks, I should have the inventor of the coronary artery calcium score on this channel.
In my head, I heard, if you're a millennial, maybe you heard this too, the inventor of toaster strudel.
The inventor of toaster strudel.
I don't know.
No, he would not appreciate it.
Just the way your tone was funny. Hey, Crown of Curls. Loads of constipation, nausea since starting carnivore 5 months ago. A history of IBS and GERD.
Yeah, if you're still having problems that far into carnivore, then keto may be the way for you, Crown of Curls. You may need to start adding back in some keto-friendly veg and see if that helps with the nausea and the constipation. If it does, hallelujah, you're still eating a proper human diet. If it doesn't, then it's time to go see your doctor and make sure something else is not going on. Hey, Mitzi Champion, how's it going?
Several people want an update on your virus recovery.
I'm 95%, 97% better. I'm almost back to normal.
It's just stuffy.
Yeah, I've got this thing I've done since I was a teenager. When I have an upper respiratory infection, even after I'm over it, I cough for like 2 weeks. Post-viral tussive syndrome. I've had that since I was a teenager. And so I still have little coughing fits, but I feel fine. Energy's back to normal. I can taste my food and I can smell my delicious wife. So yeah, I'm fully recovered.
Oh, that's awkward. For the record, he never got tested, so it could have been flu. We don't know. It
was a virus,
yes.
Like I said. I don't know exactly which virus.
Autoimmune diagnosis is keto or carnivore better? Meat-based. You don't have to go completely carnivore forever. I would recommend. I have autoimmune issues. I recommend to go in carnivore for 6 to 8 weeks to heal your gut. You're going to feel amazing. It sounds worse than it is, I promise.
Yeah, totally.
So carnivores, as you know, all meat, no potatoes, no sweet potatoes. Like do the true carnivore for a few weeks. And then you can go back to meat base where you're mostly eating meat. Every now and then you have a few vegetables that don't affect your autoimmune disorder. And that varies depending on the person, but usually cruciferous vegetables are okay in moderation.
Yeah. Gene K says, is it okay to break my fast with Premier chocolate protein shake? I read it is keto friendly. Gene K, what I want you to break your fast with is real human food. In my opinion, there is no shake on the planet that is keto by my definition of keto, which is real, whole, ancestrally appropriate, one ingredient human food. There is no shake that meets that criteria. I'm sorry, there are some decent shakes out there, but if you've went to the trouble to fast to try to improve your health, then why don't you break that fast with real food instead of a shake that was made in a factory? How about that?
Usually cheaper too.
Yes.
Marcus, loving carnivore, blood sugar below 130 from 300.
Beautiful.
I'm down 40 pounds. Way to go. Any suggestions for vitamins? My wife has sickle cell and corona.
If you're eating a proper human diet, Marcus, you're going to be getting virtually all the vitamins and minerals you need. You may need to supplement some vitamin D depending on where in the world you are. And if you do, take a little vitamin K2 with it. And then I recommend everybody mind their minerals with Keto Chow's Daily Mineral Drops. You think I'm going for your nose?
Yes.
Like I would do that on live.
I
totally would do that.
Yeah, you would.
No,
you
right.
probably have, actually.
Well, I should just go ahead and.
I'll bite it.
But because if the food that you're about to eat was grown in soil that's depleted in minerals like iodine, then there's not going to be any of those minerals in the food. And so why not just for a little added extra insurance, get some daily minerals. If you live very northern, very southern latitudes, take some vitamin D with K2. Otherwise, just eat real food and you're going to get virtually all the vitamins and minerals and definitely all the amino acids and fatty acids that you need.
Miss Tanya wants to know, is keto safe for type 1? My daughter is 5 and a type 1 diabetic.
Yes, 100%. Tanya.
Do you have a specific video for type 1?
Not for kids. Here's what you need to know. Get a copy of Dr. Richard Bernstein's book, The Diabetes Solution. He is a type 1 diabetic and writes specifically for type 1 diabetics. If you're on Facebook, join the Facebook group Type 1 Grit, TYPEONE Grit, GRIT. There's hundreds of parents just like you who are using low carb, keto, and even carnivore for their little type 1 children, and they never have hypoglycemic episodes. They take 80 to 90% less insulin on a daily basis, and they have normal A1Cs, and they love their diet. So any age of a type 1 diabetic can absolutely do keto or carnivore, but you want to find a doctor that you can work with. You want to read Bernstein's book, and you want to join Type 1 Grit because there's lots of questions that I know you have as a type 1 parent, and they're going to answer your questions.
Hello, Granny Berry.
Yep, Granny Berry's watching tonight from Alabama. I love it when Granny Berry's able to watch. Hey, Granny, Beckett should be home a little later, so stick around. You can see baby Beckett.
Danny, I heard from Dr. Berg's video that a calcium supplement can be harmful, but do we still need calcium in our diet? Why would a supplement be bad? Yeah, so calcium is an essential element. You need calcium, no doubt about it. The problem with calcium supplements is they're very often very concentrated high dosages of calcium. And there are many experts who think that that's an inappropriate way to get the calcium and that it could cause inappropriate calcium deposition at parts of your body. You don't want that. And so one of the first supplements I made a YouTube video about and said, you don't need this as your calcium supplement. I've got a video about calcium-rich foods. I've got a video about how to get tons of natural bioabsorbable calcium from eggshells. Watch those two videos and throw your calcium supplement away. It's not helping you at all, and it could potentially cause harm. All I can think about right now is sashimi.
Sashimi and New York hot dogs.
Yeah, but now sashimi. That was earlier. Now sashimi. I've moved to fatty tuna.
Sashimi?
And yellow.
Sashimi.
I don't know. I'm a redneck. I'm sure I'm saying it wrong.
Sashimi.
I don't care. I just want to eat some.
I had some just the other day.
I know we're going back, okay?
There's a little Chinese restaurant in Paris, Tennessee that has, the Chinese buffet, but they also have
real
pretty darn decent sushi chef. And he also makes sashimi, which I got.
It's just the fish. It's not
10
the
pieces
rice.
of. Yeah, I don't eat the rice.
It doesn't come with rice.
Rice makes me fat, so I get sashimi.
Anywho.
Instead of sushi.
It's amazing. Fantastic.
It's really good.
I eat, how much ginger do I eat? I'm not kidding.
They bring us 3 little things of ginger.
They love to say me because they think it's funny.
Bob says that New York hot dogs are Dirty water hot dogs.
Probably.
I know, like in the thing when they got the hot dogs floating around. Yeah.
You know, like
I would eat a dirty water hot dog right now. Maybe
there's just some things that are disgusting and awesome at the same time.
Yes.
Tomioka wants to know, why is hypoglycemia not considered a symptom of diabetes? Love you guys.
Oh, it can absolutely be a symptom of diabetes. Before you're diagnosed, it's typically not a symptom. But after you get on inappropriate, unneeded diabetes medications, like glyburide, glipizide, glimepiride for type 2 that works by raising your insulin to lower your blood sugar, you can definitely have hypoglycemic episodes. And then if you're injecting insulin, if you inject too much, you're going to have a hypoglycemic episode. It's definitely a symptom.
Can you do MMA combat sports on a carnivore keto diet?
There are several MMA fighters who do fight on keto and carnivore. I just met a very nice gentleman in Boca Raton at this event. I forgot his name, but he's been doing mixed martial arts since he was 16 years old. And I mean, he is in tip-top shape. I would not want to piss him off. Like, I would be like, yes, sir. Unless I had a baseball bat, then I might take a chance. No, he just lives. Yeah, Mark Bell. He lives.
He has the look of a fighter.
I don't think he does. I mean, he might play around with it, but he's not trying to be a professional. I'm sure he could kick some ass.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But this guy said that when he's carnivore, he is 100% on go, and people hate grappling and sparring with him because he's so on point when he's eating his meat.
I bet your instincts are just even quicker.
Right? Your reaction time, everything.
Mm-hmm. Gordito. Hello. I'm trying carnivore second weekend. My stomach is hurting. Any suggestions?
So this is your second week. I'd give it another week, Gordo. And if you're still having trouble with your stomach, then try to add back in some veg. If that fixes it, then maybe keto's the way for you. If that doesn't fix it, go see your doctor.
Sherry, for food aversions from the virus, with taste and smell, it's keto chow okay. I don't do any dairy except for ghee. Would egg yolk, ice cream, and cream be better for these issues? So, yes. Also, I always say this wrong. Is it Prime Protein? Whatever equips protein, that makes really good. I make a Frosty with it. It's good. You can put butter as the fat in keto chow instead of dairy, and it actually tastes better.
Yep. And remember what I said earlier. There is no shake that I consider to be keto. But if you're in Sherry's situation and you're sick, you can't eat food or you don't want food.
Well, if you're having aversions to meat, you need to get protein in some way.
Yeah, then I think it's fine to use any keto chow shakes or their soups as a temporary crutch to help get you through that. I think that's perfect use for those. But I don't want everybody out there thinking, I need a protein shake every morning.
It's every day.
It's a tool that you use when it's appropriate, but it's not something you blindly use.
You can also make whatever Bella calls her pudding, that she uses eggs, or Maria's egg pudding too. Yes. So that's almost 100% protein from the eggs. Yep. If you're using pastured eggs, even better, and it doesn't taste like an egg.
In Costa Rica, Maria made her chocolate pudding that's just 100% eggs and some sugar-free chocolate. Oh my God. I beg every now and then I get a taste for it, and I beg Neisha to make it. And she's like, that's too much trouble.
I just don't. No, I'm not doing it. You can do it.
I don't know.
What's holding you back? Oh, you can't YouTube.
I'm a rancher and a farmer. I don't know how to act in the kitchen.
Shut up. Jay, I started December 9th and backslid on 4 cookies. 3 days of allergies and congestion. Needless to say, I'm back on triple BE, water, and salt. So learn your lesson, right?
You live, you learn. And I think it's good for some of us to mess up like that, because you get that immediate feedback where your metabolism says, hey, dummy, and slaps you right in the face. And you're like, okay. I wasn't sure if this was a big deal or not, but now I understand it is. So get right back on the wagon and don't mess up again.
Did you see something over there you want to?
Let me see. What's going on here?
Peter has asked a few times about keto and kidney transplant recipients.
Yeah. So if you have chronic kidney disease, if you have only one kidney, If you've had a kidney transplant, then your goal is to protect your remaining kidney function like gold, like the rarest of rubies, right? And the way you're going to do that is not by eating the American Diabetes Association diet. That's too many carbohydrates. That's going to raise your blood sugar and raise your insulin, and it's going to damage your kidney function. You want to eat as low carbohydrate, nutrient dense as you possibly can. That's how you're going to protect that kidney and help it to last for many, many, many decades, which is what your goal is, right? So eat a proper human diet to protect your kidney function.
Tia wants to know, she likes her beef mince, which is ground beef. Really crispy. Is this dangerous in any way? Does it deplete the nutrition?
No, I don't think so at all. Some people with severe histamine intolerance have problems with ground beef because it seems to increase the histamine load. But the vast majority of people, 99.9%, can eat ground beef every day or minced beef. I freaking love it with some salt and pepper. I pretty much do eat it every day, don't I?
We have survived off of ground beef for the past 3 weeks.
Yeah.
We had a cow butchered
locally,
and the beef that we got is blended with organs.
Mm.
We opened the freezer to see we had
Yeah.
like 87% ground beef, and the rest is steak.
They took the heart and the liver and they ground it in with the ground beef or the minced beef. Can't even tell it's there. It's so delicious. I eat it every day. I think it's great for
I'm
your
doing
health.
a video on like all the different ways that we eat ground beef because
There's a lot.
it's a great cut, budget friendly.
That's the cough.
You can do so much with it. So that's coming up on my channel. Hey, how are you? Neisha loves it. If you're not
Neisha loves
subscribed
it.
to my channel, come head over onto my YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button.
Kevin, would you put a link to Neisha's channel in the chat so people can just click on it?
You can also just Google Neisha Berry YouTube. It'll pop up.
Or Ken Berry's husband, Dr. Berry's
husband. Oh.
Dr. Berry's wife. How old is Dr. Berry's wife?
That's the number one.
Yeah, all those things will find Neisha's YouTube channel.
70, by the way.
72.
Jean Sebastian, Dr. Berry, I have some health experts that claim keto and carnivore diet can increase my mTOR, which increases cancer and other diseases. Do you have any comments about this?
A physiological increase in mTOR in no way increases your risk of cancer. mTOR is a lot like TMAO. It's very popular for everybody to be talking about it right now. The truth of the matter is we understand very little about the complete mechanism that mTOR is involved in. There is not a single research study that shows that physiologically elevated mTOR in any way increases your risk of any known cancer. That's currently gurus and influencers over speaking. Everybody likes to be like the first to break the news, but that's fake news. That there's no truth to that.
Vanessa wants to know, do you have any advice for gestational diabetes?
Yes, Vanessa. You want to eat very low carb. You don't want to eat any processed foods whatsoever. No sugar, no grains, no vegetable seed oils. None of those things help your baby grow. None of those things help protect you from gestational diabetes or preeclampsia. Get this book, Real Food for Gestational Diabetes by Lily Nichols. Read this book. I agree with 99% of her information about gestational diabetes.
You can go even further than she goes, is what he's saying.
Yes,
like
100%.
You can go this far, you can go meat-based, you can go carnivore.
100%, yeah.
She also has one that's called Real Food Pregnancy that's for people who aren't at risk for gestational diabetes, and it's good as well. So both of those books really good.
Absolutely.
You can get them on Amazon.
Yep. Basically, if all women started to eat a proper human diet before they got pregnant and ate a proper human diet while they were pregnant, there would be no such thing as gestational diabetes. It literally wouldn't exist. But if you're drinking fruit juice every day and eating your whole grain breads and eating lots of salads and fruits and lots of whole grain breads, and then obviously if you're eating damn ding dongs and honey buns and drinking Pepsi, that's what causes gestational diabetes. It's the food. And when you're eating for the vast majority of women, if you eat under 50 total grams of carbs a day, real food carbs, and then eat lots of meat and eggs, you're not going to have gestational diabetes. And if you currently have gestational diabetes, you can reverse it by doing what I just said.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Amy, this is a good question. Does Neisha refuse the GTT, which is the glucose tolerance test? Okay. Real quick. Last pregnancy, I delivered in a birth center, so not a hospital. It's basically a house with midwives, and they required me to do the glucose test, even though I was like, I'll show you my blood sugars over a week. No, they wouldn't let me do it. I had to do the test. This time around.
Or they would kick you out of the practice.
I had to deliver at the hospital if I didn't do that. They were like, that's fine if you don't want to do it, but you can't deliver here. And that was really upsetting to me. But
so she did it.
I did it, and I delivered. Well, I tried to have delivery at the birth center. We had we had to be emergency, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, long story short, I delivered at the hospital. I'm delivering at the hospital. This time, I will not be doing the glucose tolerance test because I won't have to this time. Most physicians, OBGYNs, even midwives will allow you to just track the blood sugars over a week, and they're satisfied with it.
Yeah, or wear CGM.
Or to do a CGM and test your A1C.
Yep. Have you told that whole story on your YouTube channel?
Our birth story?
Your birth story?
Yeah.
I thought you had.
It's long, but
it's a pretty great story.
The reason it's long is because it's
it's a pretty great story.
There's a lot going on in that story.
Somebody asked me about vitamin A toxicity, and now I've lost it. Basically, the only recorded instances of someone developing a vitamin A toxicity is if, number one, they were taking a vitamin A supplement, which I do not recommend. None of you guys need to take a vitamin A pill. Okay. Oh, it's Waterworth Gardens. Yeah, there it is. So now, can you get vitamin A toxicity from eating too much liver? It appears that you can get vitamin A toxicity from eating too much polar bear liver. Too much, and there's a couple of fish that they eat in Japan that if you eat the liver, it's very concentrated in vitamin A. So don't eat those livers. But there's not a single documented case of vitamin A toxicity from eating chicken liver, beef liver, pork liver, goose liver, any domesticated liver. So you can eat liver 2 or 3 times a week. It's totally fine. You're not going to develop vitamin A toxicity from liver.
Good numbers during the Super Bowl. You know, that's another thing I guess people don't really think about. That's a time probably people are having high blood sugars is around Super Bowl and playoffs.
From the stress. You mean?
Well, no. I mean, from the snack.
Well, let me tell you this.
Somebody
at Low-Carb Boca, they actually kept having elevated blood sugars, and he was a computer programmer. Mm-hmm. But he also played video games all the time. You know, like what is it, Mortal Kombat? No, what is it that everybody plays? Call of Duty. You know, you're going to get shot games. And he was constantly like this, and he literally, and so finally he thought, I'm just going to quit playing that and just play something calmer. Blood sugar went to normal. So I could see people not only from the junk food they eat watching the ball game,
but the stress on.
But if you get, especially if you got money riding on the game, that's stressful. But then if you really care. That could elevate your cortisol.
All the Dallas Cowboy fans, their blood sugars were elevated.
Poor folks.
If you were a Cowboys fan. What even happened? Okay, like I'm upset. I'm not even a Cowboys fan.
Kathy, copper is it is an essential mineral. You do need a little bit of copper. You don't want too much. There's a little tiny bit of copper in Keto Chow's daily mineral drops, just because we all need just a tiny bit of copper. And I'm sure I probably need to make a video about copper-rich foods, but then I'm afraid people would eat too much of it because you can actually get too much copper from your diet if you're just going crazy eating copper-rich foods.
Somebody wants to know, are you a Mortal Kombat fan? Finish him!
I am. Yeah, you were. I was on. There's a guy named
I
Ken.
did Tekken. I was a Tekken.
You were Tekken? Yeah. Who's the girl? Is that the girl? That's the girl, right?
No, it's 2 different fighting games. Tekken... It's like Mortal Kombat.
Who's the girl on Mortal Kombat? I know that's who you were.
There's 2 different.
She used her hair.
Pigtails.
Right.
Yeah. And a fan. Good time. Yeah. You know that game is completely different now. I saw somebody playing it the other day, and it's like brutal.
I'm sure my son Jonathan's not watching this. He's a grown man now, but me and him, when he was a little boy, we used to play that. And he got so good at it that, I mean, he was the guy that would throw the things and be like, finish him. And he would kill me every time. Yeah. So back in the day.
Before our house burned down, I had bought us a Mortal Kombat, like the old school, remember?
Like the arcade.
An arcade Mortal Kombat. Yeah. It was the old one. It's gone now. But remember, I forgot I bought us that.
I totally forgot about that. I totally forgot that. Yeah.
That was so much fun.
I one that's got like 50 games in it,
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I don't like the new games. Jay, no, we already talked
Street Fighter. Yeah, that was a good one too.
Street Fighter, yeah. Steve, a family member with Hashimoto's has resolved. Thanks. All markers are back to normal, off Synthroid, but thyroid antibodies are still high. Please advise.
Keep doing what you're doing. Keep eating a proper human diet. And what else would you say to somebody with Hashimoto since you have it?
Yeah. So I'm wondering how the symptoms are. You said resolved and markers are normal and off the medication, but wonder how symptoms are. But lots of things affect Hashimoto's antibodies. If you have breast implants, that can keep your antibodies elevated. Stressors, lack of sleep. There's so many things. So just think about triggers and go down the rabbit hole and see if anything checks a box.
Yep, absolutely. Peter says, will excessive amount of protein damage kidneys? Peter, I have never seen a single documented case of anybody who has harmed their kidneys by eating meat and eggs until they're comfortably stuffed. Okay. And that's what I recommend every human being listening to this video. That's what I recommend you do is eat fatty meat and eggs until you're comfortably stuffed. You are never going to harm your kidneys with too much protein from this proper human diet, this ancestral way of eating that human beings have been eating since the beginning of human beings.
Sarah wants Sarah's gymnastics. Have you guys ever used a CGM? Yes, we both have.
Yeah, we both have. Yeah.
I used one last pregnancy just out of curiosity. Honestly, I wasn't at risk for gestational diabetes or anything. But what's funny is I wore it during the week of KetoCon when he was speaking, and it was the first time he'd spoke at something that big.
This is what stress will do.
And the only time I had a spike on my CGM was during his talk. It was like, boom. I hadn't eaten that morning, nothing. And I was like, that is so weird.
Yep.
Me and Kim Howerton were there, and I was like, look, that's odd. I didn't eat anything. She was like, that's stress.
Yep.
I was like, oh my gosh.
Denise's A1Cs is gone from 6.4 to 6.1 and slowly going down. Sweet. That's the way to do it. Uncle Big Guy said he was an Asteroids player. Did you used to play Asteroids? That's an old game.
I think that was before my time.
That was old. I can remember when I was 10, 11, 12, when Space Invader.
I've played Galactica.
The first Space Invader game I saw in a convenience store somewhere. I was like, Granny, can I have a quarter?
What's this one?
The little aliens that go back and forth?
No, it's like a snake.
Oh, Centipede. Yeah, that was a good game too.
My Catholic carnivore life. My good friend is in the hospital just diagnosed with leukemia. So sorry. Just getting over COVID. Any suggestions? He has to eat the hospital food.
No, he doesn't have to eat hospital food. This is a common misconception. When you're in the hospital, you are not under arrest. A friend or a family member can bring you food. You can tell the cafeteria. I just wonder,
though, if they do have the virus, if they're keeping them from bringing in outside food.
Perhaps they could pass it through an airlock.
I'm not saying that they couldn't figure it out. I'm saying I wonder if that's the reason.
Also, all you guys, if you're hospitalized, when they ask you what your allergies are, tell them all your medicine allergies. And then you're going to say, hey, I'm also allergic to sugar and grains and vegetable seed oils. And say it with a straight face and mean it, because you are allergic to those things. They will make you metabolically sick. And they'll have to write that down in your chart. And that'll go to the cafeteria. And then when they get ready to make you something, they're going to be like, shit, what are we even going to feed this person? And you're going to wind up getting meat and veg and eggs, because that's the only things in the hospital that aren't made of sugar, grains, and seed oils. Then you just got a proper human diet in the hospital, but you are not under arrest. You can eat the food you want to eat in the hospital. They are not your mama or daddy.
Fight when I had back.
You didn't eat a single hospital meal, did you? Yeah, I brought her food.
I just told him, I was like, don't even bother bringing me a tray.
Yep.
Don't even bother.
100%.
Caesar, which CoQ10 is best without causing stomach issues?
I've never heard of anybody really having stomach issues with CoQ10. You might try to take ubiquinone, which is basically the same thing as CoQ10. It's just one step back in the pathway. But CoQ10 typically doesn't cause stomach upset. If it does for you, take it right at bedtime. right when you lay down to go to sleep, take it, and then you shouldn't have any stomach upset at all.
Pong. That was the very first game, wasn't it?
Yep, I had a Pong. My dad got it for me for Christmas when I was 5 or 6.
Would.
But now let me tell you about Bob Berry. I bet he's watching this too. So Bob Berry buys me Pong. It had ice hockey and 2 or 3 other games, right? And before he wrapped it up, he wanted to make sure it worked because he didn't want my Christmas morning to suck. So he played it for a few hours.
What a profesh.
And then he wrapped it up for me. Didn't you, Bob Berry? Wait, this
I'm
one,
reading
okay.
I got it. Pico. Hey, my wife overheard Neisha saying that she had a birth center birth. Was that in West Tennessee? If so, can you divulge the name? We're a few months from having our first and would love that. No, unfortunately, I'm not aware of one in West Tennessee. The one I went to is in Nashville, but it is called Baby. No, it's not. They changed the name of it.
What is it called?
It's now called the Vanderbilt Birth Center. Before it was called Baby & Co., and it was an affiliate of Vanderbilt, but now their name changed. It's the same place. It's beautiful. It's in West End, so it's on the west side of Nashville, pretty easy to get to. And it's just basically like a house. There's bedrooms and tubs, and it's not a hospital setting. It was beautiful. It just didn't work out for me.
Yeah, there may very well be one in Jackson, Tennessee, and surely there could be. There's one in Memphis, but I don't know. Does anybody know if there's a birthing center with midwives in Jackson or Memphis, Tennessee?
Dixon has a midwife.
Yeah, no, they have a birthing center now. I think I learned that in Boca Raton. I think they have a midwife.
I know they have a midwife and a women's clinic that's 100% women.
Oh, man, you don't think they have a birthing center?
I don't know that they have a birth center.
I'm not sure about
I know that
they
have alternative. They have the gas and stuff like that, but I think it's in the hospital.
Gotcha. Oh, Galaga and Centipede. Yep, I remember those, little mama. Let's see. Kenna says, does diet affect eosinophilic asthma? Oh, Kenna, you're going to be happy with this. I have had multiple people reach out to me with both eosinophilic asthma and eosinophilic gastritis or eosinophilic reflux, that it just gets 99% better when you eat a proper human diet that's full of fatty meat, eggs, and veg. It's the grains, it's the liquid dairy, it's the vegetable oils. When you get that stuff out of your mouth and eat real human food, your eosinophils calm down and they stop inappropriately causing inflammation where they shouldn't be. Try it for 90 days. I think you will never go back. Donkey Kong. I used to play that. I used to beg for quarters from my buddies. You get a quarter? So I could play Donkey Kong one time.
Steve, the myriad things that have helped to reverse the proper human diet most seem to be autoimmune and or hormonal in nature. Have you seen any evidence in reversing COPD?
Yeah, COPD, chronic bronchitis, and asthma. I think I have a video on this channel about these. There's tons of research that they're all 3 intimately linked with chronic hyperinsulinemia. And that's the hormone that keto, ketovore, and carnivore fix. Is they bring your insulin level back down to low normal. And when that happens, go look at the comments on that video about asthma and COPD. Hundreds of people have gotten off their inhalers completely. They don't need them anymore when they're eating a proper human diet because the vast majority of their symptoms are caused by chronic inappropriate inflammation. And even though the inflammation is in their lungs, it's being caused by their diet. Now, if you're smoking, stop smoking, okay? Smoking is dumb. Smoking is bad for you. Smoking causes inflammation all over your body, okay? Stop smoking, okay? But if you don't smoke and you have one of those conditions, 100% your symptoms are going to improve if you eat a proper human diet.
Chris, Dr. Berry, my dad has high ferritin. Do you have any recommendations?
I'm working on a video about high ferritin right now. It does not mean he has iron overload necessarily. It does not mean he has hemochromatosis necessarily. But a lot of dumb doctors will say that. If your ferritin's high, they're like, oh, you got iron overload. You're eating too much meat. This is complete bullshit, okay? There are specific tests that have to be done before a doctor can say you have iron overload. There is a specific genetic testing that has to be done before they can say you have hemochromatosis. So if your doctor checked and your ferritin was high and they said, oh, you've got hemochromatosis, you need to look for a new doctor or educate
your
current doctor.
Use your arm rest. You have one. You use it.
I like yours better.
Marijuana, if you have COPD, you should not be smoking marijuana.
Yeah.
There are other ways to consume it should you feel it benefits you in some way.
Yeah, if you have COPD, chronic bronchitis, or asthma, you should not be purposefully inhaling smoke. From anything, a house fire, a garbage fire, a forest fire, or from a tobacco fire or a weed fire.
There's a reason when you take a drag off of that you cough.
Yeah.
Your lungs weren't meant to do
it. It irritates, okay? So if you're looking for CBD or even THC, you can get that without smoking things.
Yeah. There's plenty of ways to
do it.
The THC.
Wafa says, Neisha, you are glowing. You are having a boy.
You think? Let's have another vote.
Who thinks? Boy or girl?
Team pink, team blue.
Vote right now.
We don't know.
We don't know yet, but we're going to find out the 21st.
20-something.
20-something.
You would think I would know, but I just don't know. I can't keep up with that. Pink, 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 blue.
Pink or blue?
There's
Which one?
Pink.
Pink or blue?
What do you think? What do you think? Not what do you want?
I don't mind either way. Boy or girl, I don't care. But I kind of feel like it's a boy. I kind of do a little, but not much. It's only a hint. Like, I don't know.
It's obviously not twins. It's only one. I think that it's a girl, but I want it to be a boy. But, whatever. I don't care. I'm not going to be like.
I hear you. So you're not going to, throw it off the cliff if it's a girl?
No, it'll be fine.
Okay, good.
I'll suck it up. I just know how I was as a child, okay?
Leroy Zimmerman, were you a little baby?
Yes.
Really?
Attitude. Of course, I was an only child, too.
I hope we have a little girl and she's got attitude. That'll be fun.
Beckett has enough attitude, but he's sweet. I was just I was an only child,
So was I, and I was very sweet. Ask Granny Berry.
Oh, yeah. Let's ask Granny Berry. You want me to call her right now?
Get her on speakerphone.
She would love that.
No, let's not do that.
No?
Let's not bother her. She's busy right now. Leroy Zimmerman says, do you need to take enzymes with meals for good digestion or hydrochloric acid? How important are they? Excellent question, Leroy. The answer is no and no. Your body, unless you've had some kind of surgical operation or traumatic injury that damaged the cells that make your enzymes and your hydrochloric acid, you do not need to waste any money whatsoever on enzymes or hydrochloric acid. Your body makes all of that you need. There's a lot of gurus out there that make many, many bucks every year selling this bullshit to people because they've tricked them into thinking, oh, you're just not making hydrochloric acid in your stomach. Now, if you're taking an acid blocker, Leroy, quit taking that, okay? Because that could be depressing your acid. But otherwise, you're making plenty of acid unless you've had an injury that damaged those cells.
Pamela says, I had a friend today be told by her doctor that ketones in her urine are very dangerous. Now I'm scared of going into ketosis.
There's no danger whatsoever from having ketones in your urine. That's one of the ways we can tell if you're in ketosis or not. That's perfectly normal, perfectly fine. If you check the ketones of any breastfed baby, they are going to have ketones in their urine about 70 or 80% of the time. It is completely normal for a human being to have ketones in their urine. Now, if you're dehydrated, you can also have ketones for that reason. If you develop ketoacidosis because you're a type 1 diabetic and you're not injecting enough insulin and you're eating too many carbs and you have an infection and you develop ketoacidosis, you can have ketones in your urine. But ketones in your urine, just that, nothing else, is not dangerous at all. This is a complete and utter myth. I thought everybody in the world had already been through that stage and knew that was not true.
There's still doctors out there saying that.
Yes, Carissa says Team Bonnie Berry, 100%. If it's a girl, I want to name her Bonnie. Bonnie Blueberry. And she's like, no.
No, I didn't say that.
People will make fun of her.
Now I just kind of want to do it. There's a girl, I just saw her today, and she named her baby Poppy, but she calls her Poot, and people give her crap about it all the time because she calls her Poot.
That's so cute. I love it.
I think it's adorable.
Come on, Poot. Let's go. I think I actually used to call the girls that. Abby, I think I called Abby Poot half the time. Yeah, I think I called her that. Mike. Wait, this is a good one. Mike says, can I eat pinto beans out of a can? I'm type 2. Mike, here's what I want you to do. I want you to get a can of pinto beans, and I want you to eat the whole can and then wait 30 minutes and then check your blood sugar. Okay. Then I want you to eat a big meal the next day, a big meal of steak and eggs. Wait 30 minutes and check your blood sugar. And then you're going to have your answer, Mike. I'll give you a hint. Beans are very high in carbohydrates and starch, and they're going to spike your blood sugar if you eat the can of beans.
Joe, I fell off the wagon today, but just like Dr. Brady says, it jumped right back on.
Just jump right back on. Don't tell nobody. Hopefully nobody saw you fall. Act like it never happened. Keep right on going.
Joe.
Nakinji, thanks for the super chat. Nakinji Sultan. Look at their little emoji. That's cute.
Yeah, that's cool. John, eat a whole apple each day, as its seeds are known to prevent cancer. However, apple gives you sugar. So should I only eat the seeds? I also eat apricot seeds. But I like
Mr. John.
Side-eye,
this is Dr. Berry talking. These two things that you believe are true have never been proven. Okay. I've read very much, especially the apricot seeds. I read a lot about that. Vitamin B17. I know all about what's is said. I can't find a mechanism that would make sense. I can't find any research to support that.
I've always heard to make sure you don't eat apple seeds.
Well, if too many apple seeds or apricot seeds, they contain poison. Yeah. And so definitely, if you're going to do that, only just maybe eat just one seed a day. But the way I would like for you to prevent cancer is to eat a very, very low carbohydrate, proper human diet. Stop eating the apple. There's nothing in the flesh of the apple that's in any way going to benefit your health at all. If you want to eat one apple seed a day, arsenic. Yeah, okay. Definitely. Yeah. But if you want to eat one apple seed a day, that's probably going to hurt you. Is it going to help you? Probably not. But if it doesn't hurt you and you believe in it, eat one apple seed a day. But stop eating the apple. Give that part to the chickens, and you eat one seed a day.
Everybody wants to see my profile.
Oh yeah, let's see that bump.
Ow! I have so much sciatic pain. It's not really. What are you doing? I'm short.
Going the wrong way.
Okay, this looks worse than it is. But
it's so cute.
When I do this, people are like, "Wow, you're huge! Like half of this is air." Okay?
Stick it out. Stick it out. Now suck it in. Okay. All right. And you're how many weeks? 13?
13.
13 weeks. Oh, so cute.
Well, I'm 13 and 4.
And you can feel the little baby kicking.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well,
I can't
like
wait. Oh, tell them what Beckett did with the Doppler.
Oh, yeah. So we have a Doppler, and he has seen us Doppler check for heart rate. He did it the other day and found it, and he was playing doctor. He loved it. Yep, there's Poot.
There's Poot. Root beer belly, it's a boy, says Sandy. Root beer belly? Is that a thing?
Oh, I don't know. Crystal Sykes is having a boy.
Yeah. Dewey Bear says, what's your take on continuous glucose monitors? I think continuous glucose monitors, or CGMs, are one of the best teachers to teach you what spikes your blood sugar inappropriately. Okay. And so any of you guys, if you think apples are good for you, if you think pinto beans are good for you, get a CGM. It's a little monitor. It goes right here. It checks your interstitial glucose, and it checks it every 5 minutes. And there's an app on your phone, and you can look and see what your blood, and so you can eat that can of pinto beans and then watch your blood sugar spike and learn from that and go, oh shit, I shouldn't eat pinto beans.
It doesn't hurt at all. And yes, you can get it if you're not a type 1 or type 2.
Yep.
It does cost quite a bit. I think it's usually around $200 for the kit. There is a website. I can't remember what it's called. Maybe Kevin knows, that you can go online and they'll write your prescription and send it to you in the mail.
Briar Rose, I am a patient man.
Are you?
Oh, Sandy says she's 96% accurate in her baby guesses. She said it was a root beer belly boy. Yeah. She's 96% correct.
I will let you know.
That's better than any weatherman.
Aren't we we're gonna do a reveal on not Facebook. We did Facebook Lives for so long that's just what I say. YouTube
there was a lady in Boca Raton. She was like, I saw one of your videos where you and Neisha went live in your car. It was so long ago. And I was like, was it at the movie theater? She was like, yes. And I was like, you literally saw the first live that we ever did. And she was just blown away.
Was it good? Did she enjoy it?
Yeah, she loved it. She was there to say hi.
That's so funny. All right.
Yeah, here's a great hold still. Stop that. Stop. Dr. Grundy says that 5 raw kidney beans will kill you in 5 or 10 minutes. And Dr. Gundry is exactly right. That's why
scary.
Many beans, if you eat them raw, they are actually toxic. People don't realize.
They have to be soaked.
That's why your grandmother used to soak beans for 24 or 48 hours. Then you pour the water off, and then you boil them. Then you pour the water off, and then you cook them again. And then they're fit for human consumption. They're still not good for you, but they're fit. But a lot of people don't realize that. They think they can eat raw beans. You cannot do that. It will hurt you.
Listen, I learned something.
Oh, what is it? Tell me.
So many people want to know, how can I have chili without beans? Chili is not supposed to have beans.
Chili is meat.
Real chili does not have beans in it.
I agree.
Someone along the way decided they were going to put some extra filler in there.
Make it cheaper.
Because it was expensive.
Yeah.
Make it go further to put beans in there. All right. So you just leave the beans out. Okay. Just leave them out.
Yeah.
And Melissa has a wonderful chili recipe, Cooking Keto with Faith.com. Just Google Cooking Keto with Faith, chili recipe, keto chili recipe. It's fantastic. But yeah. So where were you? I think it was Yellowstone.
Yeah.
He was like, what do Texans have to do with it? He's like, I guess they should know they have been in it.
He's like, why are there beans in it? They're like, well, chili has beans. He's like, no, it don't. Yep, Maria's chili is great. Melissa's chili is great. Neisha's chili is great. Any meat-based chili, if you just have any kind of sensory spice knowledge at all, it's going to be delicious chili. You just got to put the meat in there.
Who in the comments votes chili no beans? It's probably all the Texans.
Yeah. Should you put beans in your chili or not?
Yes
folks?
or no?
Be honest.
Beans are not keto, but like what we're saying is that's not even a thing. You're not even really missing out because they're not supposed to be in there in the first place.
That's exactly right. Yeah, Miguel, I just was talking about asthma and COPD earlier. Ketovore, Carnivore is going to help make your symptoms much, much better. Okay. Many people get completely off their inhalers.
I love it. All these foods. No beans. Chili, no beans.
Texas chili does not have beans.
That's so. I had no idea that was like a big deal.
Yeah.
A big deal.
Yeah. If you go over to, a friend's house and they've cooked chili for like a get together and there's a lot of beans in there, they're either broke or they don't like you very much.
They like beans. Maybe they like beans.
I guess.
Anyways, no beans, no problem. Okay. Love it. God bless Texas.
Crystal says no beans.
Oh, man.
TR says Oregon, no beans. Where else? What other states is it like it's unacceptable to put beans in chili?
There's vegan chili. Yeah, that's upsetting.
Because, I remember in the store when I was a kid, it would say chili with beans.
With beans, yeah.
And I was like, because I was dumb and poor. I was poor redneck.
They always had beans in.
I thought, well, don't all chili have beans? Why would they say chili with beans?
Mostly beans.
Yeah, it's mostly beans. Yeah, with a little meat juice.
Much cheaper.
Yeah. Everybody's no beans. Okay,
Stockton. You got it?
Yeah.
Fasting. Okay.
Go ahead.
Fasting blood sugar 102, insulin 4.7, A1C 5.5, strict keto under 20 carbs daily. I'm a little concerned about my blood sugar.
No, your A1C is normal, and as you continue to keto, it's going to continue to come down. That 5.5 is normal. That's great. Insulin of 4.7 is very, very good. If you're fasting, your your blood sugar is naturally going to go up like that to feed your red blood cells. Okay.
Somebody said poor shaming. No,
honey. Look, hey,
feed the poor.
Hey, let's chat, okay? Neisha and I have both been broke as a joke.
99.99% of my life
broke as a joke.
Like negative dollars in my bank account.
She used to eat raw ramen noodles. That was her lunch. And my lunch used to be TNT soup, which was a can of tuna, a can of tomato soup, and a can of veg all mixed together.
Dude, I can do you one.
That was my lunch, okay? That was $3.
Ketchup soup from the packets that were free in the cafeteria in college.
You made ketchup soup. Mm-hmm. Well, you just add water and heat it?
Yeah.
Ketchup soup. It's like tomato soup.
Yes.
That's freaking brilliant, actually.
And I used to steal the honey packets, too. Because
that's brilliant. Hey, I used to steal all the mustard and ketchup from McDonald's. But I'd go buy just a single burger, and I'd be like, and put them in the bag. And then I would have ketchup and mustard at home. We both been broke as a joke, so we get to talk about poor folks. I was fat as a cow. I get to talk fat if I want to. We already been there, done that. So we're not making fun of anybody. If you think that, then go watch a vegan, because we're not making fun of people. We love everybody. We're trying to help everybody, but we also like to make you laugh. So yeah, there's that. People still talking about the beans. They're like, hell no.
I think people, do y'all know about
Connie made ketchup soup, right? Connie made it.
Yeah, yep. I'm not the only one. I know. Yep. Sherry said, I love this tribe. Poor man's spaghetti, macaroni, and tomato sauce. I didn't even know that wasn't spaghetti. I thought that was spaghetti.
Just ketchup.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put it over noodles.
No, just like tomato sauce. I didn't know there was actually spaghetti. Like,
somebody put noodles in their chili. I don't know about that.
That's goulash.
I don't know what that is. That's something else. Ketchup sandwiches. I've heard of that. I've had mustard sandwiches before.
Ketchup sandwiches.
Mm-hmm. Margie.
I had a lot of sandwiches.
I'm gonna
just bread sandwiches.
Miss Margie is asking about the lab book. I'm going to call Victor Bell tomorrow. I've emailed him twice, and I still haven't heard back yet. I'm going to call him on the telephone and just keep calling until I get somebody and say, "Are you going to publish this, or are we going to self-publish?" I need to know.
Joanna said, "This is the best laugh ever. I've never laughed so hard."
Yeah, goulash is great, but Mary Lou, but if it's goulash, call it goulash. Don't call it chili with noodles.
It's got noodles.
Granny Berry she called it dish pan soup. When she had all these leftovers, she would just put it all in this big pot, put some spaghetti noodles, this, that. You never knew it was going to be in that shit. But it was freaking delicious. I can remember Granddaddy, boy, he'd take his pepper. He would pepper, and then me and Granny would both sneeze, and then we would eat our dish
funny
pan
how
soup.
Somebody said keto, ketchup's not keto, and I was thinking, oh, well, there's a good keto. But if I make ketchup soup right now, it'd be the bougiest ketchup soup.
With Primal Kitchen.
Primal, the bottle's like $7.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be some bougie ketchup soup.
Well, we're going fast over here.
I know.
Yeah, garlic toast. I had so much garlic toast.
Oh, the good Chad. His grandmother called it rainbow soup. That's very euphemistic.
Rainbow soup.
Granny just called it what it was because it looked like dirty dishwater. That's what it looked like. But it tasted awful. Really, really good.
See, Granny could not have called that around me. I would not have touched it.
Garlic and butter sandwiches? Mm-hmm. That sounds good. Without the bread, I would eat that right now. Patricia says, help, I'm stuck at the same weight for 5 weeks. Help Patricia, Neisha.
5 weeks.
Yep.
Well, depending on how much weight you have to lose, how much you've already lost, it can be many, many things. But for the most part, just take a little patience and maybe track. Maybe you haven't been tracking for a while and some carbs are sneaking in or you're not eating enough. So I know that sounds backwards, but sometimes it's you're not eating enough. Sometimes it's you're eating too much, but more often than not, it's you're not eating enough, not eating enough protein, not eating enough fat, and eating too many carbohydrates that have just kind of snuck back into your way of eating.
Yep. I've got a YouTube video called The 13 Reasons Why You Might Stall. If it's only been 5 weeks, I wouldn't even call that a stall. If you've been metabolically sick for years and years, it's going to take your body months and months to completely heal. You're getting healthier every day. Be patient, trust your body, trust a proper human diet, and the good things will come. Kevin, hang on. Kevin and Holly are talking about gas. I want to know how many of you guys are less gassy on a keto or carnivore diet versus your old way of eating. Are you, if you're less gassy now, put that in the comments, because so many people think, oh, you're eating all that meat and all that veggie. I bet you have terrible gas. No.
I need you to not interrupt me.
Okay, I'm done.
Pregnancy brain, I'm not ever going to remember what I was saying. But that did bring up another topic. Beckett has a book he loves reading. And it's called Why We Pass Gas. Is that it?
The Gas We Pass.
The Gas We Pass.
It's a great book.
But there's a section in there where it talks about how meat eaters have the smelliest farts on the planet.
Yep.
And my mom was like reading it to him, and she was like, "This part's not true."
That's right. Yep. And the reason that author, this is how myths get in society. This is very important. Watch this. Listen to this. That author had a cat, right? And he fed that cat kibble, and he or she assumed that kibble was made of meat because it's cat food, so it should be made of meat, but it wasn't. And so, oh my God, cat shit If they're eating kibble, it will literally, oh my God, it'll clear the whole house. People just go stand outside. It stinks so bad. But a cat that's eating almost pure meat has very little odor to their poop. Okay. And the same goes for dogs. When you're feeding them a proper canine diet, their poop doesn't stink nearly as much as if you're feeding them kibble. And let me just say this. I love dogs and cats. If you claim to love your pet, but you feed your pet a kibble food so that they have a nice, tidy little poops that it's easy to pick up, and that's how you made the decision of what you were going to feed your pet, I would look in the mirror and ask myself, do I really love my pet? Because that sounds not very nice.
I've never thought about that.
That sounds not very nice if that's the diet you chose for your dog. So your dog would have nice, dry little turds that's easy to pick up. Just think about that.
Oh, okay.
Serena is farting so rare now, it shocks her if she farts. Yeah, it's like, what was that?
Unless you're pregnant. You're just gassy. If you didn't know, and you're a pregnant woman, you've been keto or meat-based for a long time, and you haven't been gassy, and all of a sudden you're just farting all the time, it's okay. It's hormones.
Yeah, it's hormones.
It's normal.
The hormones affect your gut bacteria, and you'll start to form more gas for a while. Yeah, but I haven't heard or smelled any evidence of this.
Well, if you're still eating the same diet, then it won't stink.
You're a good cat.
You'll just be.
You're sneaky.
Sometimes I blame it on Beckett. You should see him when I do, and you're not around. He's like, "Mama, you tooted."
Marshall says, have gas sometimes, but I'm not scared to fart now. Almost never have diarrhea since going keto. Yep. Yeah, most keto and carnivores, they're not afraid to let a little silent one slip, because if you have one, because there's going to be no smell. Nobody will ever know it happened. So if gas is passed and there is no smell, did you really let it fart? Or should we give it a new name? Because, farts stink.
You poofed.
You poofed.
You just poofed.
A carnivore poof. I love it. I love it. Way less gassy, says Carissa.
When you're old, you never trust a fart. When you're pregnant, you shouldn't trust a fart either.
Dale has gastritis and needs help. Dale, any gastroenterological condition from the mouth to the other end is going to improve if you eat a proper human diet. Watch my video about a proper human diet. Learn the basic techniques and your gastritis will improve.
Oh my gosh, we have to do a video about this.
Okay.
So even moms that I've talked to who were keto through their pregnancy, keto while breastfeeding, carnivore even, still have questions about their baby having reflux or spitting up and spitting up. Listen, I have to do a whole video about this because Beckett spit up how many times when he was little?
Maybe once or twice.
Maybe 2 times.
Yeah, literally. He never spit up.
And it's because I breastfed him sitting up like this. He would straddle my leg and he would sit up to breastfeed. He never laid down to eat. Not one time.
Yep. And number one, he was drinking breast milk, not formula.
Yeah, but even the moms I've talked to that are breastfeeding, their kids are having reflux.
Oh, yeah, that's going to help. Definitely let gravity be your friend. 100%. Yes, I love that.
I feel like that has so much to do with it. Maybe this isn't the way we were doing it. Maybe we were multitasking a lot.
Yep.
And maybe that's the way.
I'm
just saying.
No, you may be right. That's a great little tip. I love that.
I mean, we had all these burp rags, neast used them because he never spit up.
Yep. I remember. And my previous babies that were not breastfed spit up all the time. And one of my sweet girls even had pretty severe reflux because we didn't know better. We were just feeding her a crap diet.
Did any other moms do that with their babies, breastfeed sitting up like that?
Sitting up like this.
And I wonder if this is a coincidence.
No, that has to help. It may not completely eliminate it, but it's got to help.
I didn't even really have to burp him, remember? He just did his own thing.
Seb lights his farts. Seb, come on. We're grown here.
We're over time here.
Oh, we are over time. Hey, guys, listen, if you didn't get your question answered tonight, there's a way you can get more access to me. Become a patron on patreon.com. And for $1 a month, $3 a month, $5, $20, whatever you can afford to support the work we do, you also have access to 3 additional live Q&As a week. And instead of there being 2,700 people watching, there will be 270. And so I can answer questions in much more detail and more thoroughly. So if you've got questions you need the answer to about your medications, your conditions, your nutrition, your overall health, you can even ask me questions about politics. That's fine. I don't care. But become a patron on patreon.com. Support the work that we're doing, trying to improve the health of the whole world, and have more fun with us. You don't have there's more than one live a week, but you only get the second and third and fourth if you're a patron. All right. Thanks so much, guys, for joining us. Thanks, Granny Berry, for being my granny and raising me from a tiny baby. See you guys next week.